Good to see everyone. Welcome back to Between the Horns, a special schedule release edition, as always, presented by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Maurice Jones Drew, D'Marco Farr, I'm JB Long, already taking grief from our fantastic studio crew. They know that this is more important and more enjoyable than my birthday and Christmas, all tied up in one. By now, you've seen the Rams schedule. Let us know what you think. At least I thought everybody had seen it. Maurice hadn't seen it.
Yeah, I can't say I've seen other people's schedule. I had to sign an NDA for my other job.
Okay.
And so I've seen glimpses of things, but I always like to be surprised for this because it's a natural like, oh, wow, this is set up. Oh, how we're going to do this? You know, I just like that here.
You rubbed off on me, the schedule release. It became a big deal for me.
Isn't it nice to know?
It is nice to know.
When you were a player, it wasn't a big deal?
All I wanted, where are we going in December is all I wanted to know.
But see, you were in the cold already. Like, we were in Jacksonville, so the first thing I looked at was like November, December. Oh, Buffalo? That's not good.
But now I get it. It makes sense.
Speaking of Jacksonville, one thing you did know, it had to cross your radar.
It did.
Is the International Series, a trip to London right before the Rams bye to face the Jacksonville Jaguars. My question for you is, who will you be working for that weekend? Like, can you get three paychecks out of that trip? Can you get the Rams, the Jags, and the league to pay you that week?
You know, we're working on that right now. It's going to be a tough one. My agent's going to have to do a wonderful job trying to figure this out. But there's an opportunity there. There's a possibility for 3.
Wow. Do we get a kick, part of it?
You're more than welcome to come around, man. I'll throw it out there to my agent.
It's week 7, right? Mm-hmm. Week 7, that's mid-October. You would think Travis Hunter is going to be fully integrated in what they're doing. I can't wait to see that guy up close. But in that setting, going to London, always fun. Every jersey is represented. It seems like a bowl game in the middle of a season. I love going over there to watch football and watch Rams football, but that part of it, to see Travis Hunter there in that environment, I can't wait for it.
It's a lot different than when the last time we went. Now people actually have teams, and those teams are supported in said games, right? So you're going to see a ton of Jags. You'll probably see a lot of Rams. I've been to the Vikings-Jets one last year, where literally it was half Vikings, half Jets. It was insane. Like, you didn't see any other jersey. It was like Vikings-Jets. It's like, oh, they're starting to kind of, people are starting to find their team and their niche and go. And I think it's also what's awesome about it is you kind of get to see Rams 2.0, right, in London, which is exciting. The way they're building their roster, their coaching staff, their front office.
Oh, you're talking about the James Gladstone, Jake Tenney Bowl.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, Jake Tenney. I miss that guy.
Me too. Yeah, great. Yeah.
Before I forget, your jersey is still the most popular at Wembley, right? We're still going to see the most.
We're counting 30.
I mean, Travis Hunter, in my household, Travis Hunter's jumped me, so we'll figure it out. We'll see. If we find a 32 there, we'll make sure we hold that person in high regard.
You'll hear me say this a couple times throughout the show. TheRams.com is where you want to be today for the schedule release, all the content, to see it laid out, and to make sure that you get your tickets to SoFi Stadium. I'll remind you throughout the show, but TheRams.com, can't miss it. TheRams.com/TIX for single game tickets /2025/tickets. Everything you need is right there. Here's what I thought we would do in terms of structure, and feel free to ignore me completely and take it whatever direction you want. But I thought we could go through like things we like about the schedule, things that we're a little wary of, don't love. And then the big question that I want to get to, and maybe we can just start with it because it's chronological too, is can the Rams start faster? Can they start stronger this year? The last 2 seasons have been thrilling, right? As they stumbled to 3-6 and 1-4, and they hit their bye at 3 games under 500. That was a lot of fun to see them go through those furious rallies.
Was it though?
It was.
It shaved years off our lives.
No question.
But the second halves were thrilling.
Right.
But there's a reason why they're historic and in some ways unprecedented, because that's not a blueprint for success. So when you look at the top half of this schedule, can you see a path of 5-2 or 6-1 coming back from London?
Okay, so you open with the Texans, then you got the Titans. I mean, 2 teams that really don't have, I guess, the marquee value, but I mean, good enough teams to
Texans are good.
They can come hit you, absolutely. But it's a good way to start, and then you go into at Eagles. I think you have to start faster than what you've started in the last couple seasons based on what you have. So let's hope. And I'm with you. It was fun watching those furious rallies because, like you said, man, if you're stuck in the middle of the ocean, when you see that relief boat coming, you're happy. So how it started, how it ended, I love how it ended. But if you can just bottle that, what you did in Philadelphia, and start this season as game 21 and enter that, the beginning of this schedule, you can hit the ground running against the Eagles and everyone else you have to play early.
Yeah, I think when you talk, game one is the most important, right? Because you're going to
116 days.
Right, 116 days. And the thing about it is you have a young quarterback. I'm talking about the Texans here who struggled as a sophomore, right? He had the sophomore slump. Right, and so how does he bounce back? Right, how do you help him bounce back, or does he bounce back against you? I think the first part, and the second part of that is their defense is really good. I mean, they have some really good pass rush. They have 2 edge guys that can get after the quarterback. They stop the run.
I'm happy it's here.
Right,
Yeah.
so you have to make sure that you start fast in that aspect first, with winning week 1, and then we can worry about the other side. You have a rookie quarterback, and then we go to Philly, but. Week 1, I think, to me is normally you could be like, whatever. Like the last couple of years has been a divisional game. It's just like, you got to win those. But this one's a very important game. Is getting right on the right track against
it's
the playoff
2023 Rookies of the Year against the should have been 2023 Rookies of the Year. I remember 2 things from Houston last summer. One, how sweaty you and I were.
Hot.
And like MJD said, how impressive that defensive roster in particular was. That made an impression on me.
Absolutely. That's why I'm happy it's here. And like you said, it's almost like you would start the old school college schedule. I mean, one that you can win, one that's probably over your head, and one that's kind of evenly matched. So this is a great way to start the season, if you ask me, for the Rams.
You're going to see Cam Orb's home debut in Nashville. And even though I caution this by saying it didn't go the Rams' way in Chicago against Caleb Williams, generally you want to face rookie quarterbacks in September. That should bode well for the Rams' odds of winning that game. Philly and Baltimore are the big ones. I think you circled them already. How about the fact that both of those are 10 a.m. regional kickoffs? Did that get your attention at all?
Shocked.
I wonder if they can flex it, but I know they kind of put a rule in they can flex games. But to me,
Ravens and Rams start hot. You could see that game flexed.
Yeah, but it's funny because like the Rams do well at 10 a.m. So maybe someone
That's it.
Maybe someone was like, hey.
You know what I thought of?
It's not cold.
Our shirtless heckler from Lincoln Financial Field.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, he's still going to be ready, but he's going to have to start at like 5 a.m. to be as ready as he was in January.
Well, he had to get ready, though, because it was pretty chilly out there. But
feeling no pain.
It's going to be a little warmer to see if he makes it to the third quarter.
How about the AFC South? 3 out of 4 to start in that crossover division, and all 4 before the bye. You're going to know whether or not you're good enough to win that division before you compete for your own.
Well, I love the fact that you kind of start with some young quarterbacks early on. Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones, that Colts game is going to be huge. It's not in Indy, it's here in LA, which is nice to get that. And then obviously, we talked about the Jags a little bit, but I think if you're 2-0 in that AFC South and you get to London, you should be comfortable and excited about another young quarterback, another young system being built that you can probably take advantage of.
You said you looked at December, right, for weather games? No real weather concerns for the Rams. London and Seattle could always be cold and wet. That's just how it is. But otherwise, a lot of indoor environments. And I don't think it'll be snowing in Philadelphia in September. I think you're in the clear there.
Hopefully. You never know.
Please.
Some other things that I like, only 2 short weeks, right? 2 Thursday night games on the schedule like last year. But the Rams are home on Sunday before Thursday night football, right? So that you don't have to leave the time zone either for either of those Thursday night games. So I think that's advantageous. You hope that is.
Yeah.
And then you catch mini buys on the other side of those Thursday night games. And those mini buys lead to extra prep for the trip to face the Ravens. And then late in the year, what could be a colossal clash with Raheem Morris and the Falcons. Think about how much could be on the line on that Monday Night Football.
It could be a lot. I like where that Ravens game sits. It's kind of like you get the break before and then you get the bye week coming soon. So, I mean, you could really just, like you think about it, blow it out and then get to your bye week, a double bye, so to speak, and kind of rest up. Because I think that's the one thing, besides looking at December, that's what every player does, where you're going to be when it's cold. When is the bye week? And when do you have those breaks? And if you have that built-in double bye, like you have a chance to do certain things defensively, offensively, and say, if something happens, we get banged up, we have 2 weeks basically or 10 extra days to rest up. So I like where that Ravens game sits, and then I like where the bye sits right after.
It's right in the middle of the schedule.
Right there.
And that's the nice byproduct of going to London is you get the option to have that break, that open date. And that bye, and then the New Orleans game that follows it, that leads you into the trade deadline. And we always watch the Rams during the trade deadline because they've done some things over the year. And with where they are in the evolution of this roster. And the fact that they hold an extra first-round pick, that trip to London, the bye where it is, the home date with New Orleans, all before the trade deadline, and a trip to San Francisco. Wow, what a fascinating stretch of weeks that could be.
Do you remember Sean having that interview about having that extra first rounder and he kind of smirked?
Yeah.
I feel like he kind of knew that all this was going to happen at this point. Like, okay, depending on how we play, we can go out and get whoever we want to help us on this run. And again, you were talking about starting fast. If you can get out of that for those first 7 games with a positive 4-3 or 5-2, you know that run is coming, and that's when this team starts to click. And so to have that piece, that ability to go out and trade for someone, and then either like play the Saints or then go to San Francisco, however you want to do it.
I remember a few years back, a couple high-profile players made their Rams debut in Santa Clara against the Niners. I don't think the outcome was what the Rams wanted that night, but the end of that story was good, as I recall.
Yeah. I think that it was what the outcome we wanted. We wanted.
Who said that? Okay.
I want to apologize to everyone who's been waiting for Rams Thanksgiving Day for a long time. I know the appetite is out there, and it will happen, but the NFL's longest Thanksgiving drought continues. How are you guys feeling about dodging all of the holiday games?
I'm okay with it.
Good on the family
I'm
front,
okay
right?
with it.
Yeah.
I mean, did you want to play on Thanksgiving?
No.
Never?
I wanted to.
Okay.
I'm a football fan. Even when I played, I used to watch on we'd practice early in the morning
and head home.
I'd head home.
Yeah.
The food would be, then the TV be on. We would be watching games. That's what you want to do.
I always wanted the turkey leg, though.
Nah,
Come on. I would love for the turkey leg to be fun, but it is what it is.
Back in the day, before they started doing triple headers, when we were playing, you either had to go to Dallas or to Detroit.
Right.
Yeah, it's far from Jacksonville.
Someday
I wasn't gonna
it'll
get
be
home.
fun.
Yeah, last year there was a possibility because of the at Detroit on the schedule, but without the Lions or the Cowboys hosting the Rams this year, it was slim odds. I think that 11-day break around Christmas is kind of key.
Huge.
I mean, not just for moms and dads, but in terms of where the Rams could be when you play at Seattle, and then get an extra mini bye in there before the closing stretch at Atlanta. And then how about Arizona? Is the league telling us something about the Rams and the Cardinals that they play twice in December, January? Like, I tend to look, where are the Niners games? They're both done by week 10. Where are the other division games? They're setting up for finales against Arizona and LA.
Well, I think we talked about it last year. Arizona really has kind of caught some interest of how they've changed. They've evolved into being more of a power team, and they've played really well early in the year. They kind of fall off a little bit at the end, but I think that the Cardinals have done a great job of really.
Yeah. That's why it's crazy to put them at the end, because usually that's where I guess Kyler starts to fizzle out a little bit. But maybe he's changed, or maybe they're going to be different. Who knows? But you might be onto something there.
I don't think he fizzled against the Rams. He put one through Trey McBride's ear hole, as I remember. But other than that, he was pretty good, wasn't he?
No doubt.
In that game? Some things that I don't love. 4 road back-to-backs.
Got to do
That's
it.
hard.
Look, a McVay team travels well, so they can handle stuff on the road. That's a hard one, though.
More miles than any NFC team. That
That's
was going to
tough.
be the case anyways, and then you add London in there.
Yeah, you're heading east a lot.
Well,
yes.
I mean, that all tells me, and I believe the way that Sean structures his practices and how the staff is built off of like sleep and stretching and all that, you could handle that. We did that when I was with the Raiders. I was done by week 10. Let's sit me out. Put your boy on the shelf.
Really? Wow.
We had went to, in the first 8 weeks, we had went to the East Coast twice and to London and back, and then had to double back and go, and we had to play. We played the Rams. Remember we played the Rams? That's when you guys beat us 52.
Oh my God! Yes, the blowout game. I remember that. Yeah.
Bro, that. I remember waking up. This is how tired I was. Dude, and it's a little side story. I remember waking up, and it was supposed to be like a 7 o'clock wake up call. I slept through my alarm, and almost missed the bus.
Wow.
Exhausted. We played at noon. Unbelievable.
So you're suggesting the Rams stay in the Baltimore area and prepare for London so as not to play.
Or they may just fly to
6-3.
London. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You may, but what I do believe is that they're better prepared than we were then.
They do it differently.
think?
Yeah.
I think that's been one of the secret ingredients to the success in the Sean McVay era is how well they play in that 10 a.m. window, and the way that Reggie Scott and everybody here has kind of calibrated their trips to land Saturday night, back time everything, land, play, and get home. And so I think there's a little bit of a chip on the shoulder to be had when you see 4 10 a.m. kickoffs against good opponents.
Yes.
and only 4 primetime assignments. I've got some more context on that in a second, but I think you could take that personally if you were so inclined. However, as many miles as the Rams are going to travel, you got to spin it to the positive, which is they're going to be getting home at some decent hours on Sunday nights after Philadelphia, after Charlotte, and spinning your week around is equally important in terms of getting ready for that next Sunday.
I like playing in the morning. I do. I like rolling out
to
of
get
bed
up and go.
And get up and go. Let's just go. I hate waiting around and thinking about the game.
Well, let's use Philly as an example, right?
Yeah.
You're going to be home from Philly at a normal hour on Sunday night. MJD might even be with Chris Rose at the network by the end of that night.
You might make it in.
Possibly.
He might tuck and roll out.
Maybe that's kind of what they were thinking.
That's what they're thinking.
Maybe that's what they were thinking. Maybe the NFL.
But if you put that on Sunday Night Football instead, then the Rams are getting home at 4 a.m. on Monday, getting set for the week ahead. So, again, you can only play the cards you're dealt, and I think this is overall fair, even though. Yeah, would I have liked to see more Sunday Night Football on the schedule? Right. Sure. But I will point out, too, that game of the week window, that 1:25 Pacific, 4:25 Eastern, that's a featured window. Like Fox and CBS, they pay big money to have that kind of national broadcast. And the Rams have 4 of those, too. So if Tom Brady and Tony Romo are calling your games, you're doing something right. Deal. And the Rams are selected for 4 of those.
That's why I like the schedule release. This is when that queasiness starts, where it starts to get serious, where you know when and where and all that sort of stuff. And then you start worrying about the ifs and whens and who you have. So this will be fun. And look, the more eyeballs on the product, the better. But I do think that the way the team is constructed now, I think they're prepared for this, to travel, to play primetime games, to play games on different continents with the guys you have and the team makeup you have. So I like the way this rolls out as a schedule. Some things you don't like, but if you want to talk about a team that's going to roll into the playoffs and win some meaningful games in December, this could be that schedule.
Were you surprised the Cooper Kupp homecoming is a normal Sunday 1 o'clock kickoff in a regional window?
When is that game?
East Coast bias.
Season.
When is that game?
It is week 11.
Week 11, and that's here, right?
At SoFi. So Cooper comes to SoFi before the Rams go to Lumen Field in Seattle. I like that. But I thought that game had week 1 potential.
Yeah.
They didn't put it there. They didn't put it in any island game. It's just part of the schedule.
I'm thinking if you didn't do it early, then, I mean, you kind of factor in, is he going to be there later? So Cooper Kupp, because if he's not, if he has another injury situation in Seattle and he's not in the game, then you might have just wasted a window. So I get it. It makes sense. Maybe it just makes sense for us here. That's going to be huge to see him in a different uniform, but I can understand if you didn't do it week 1, that might have been your window there for that game.
That's going to be tough, man. That's going to be a hard day.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be a hard day. So let's keep it kicking the can down the road.
Wait and see on that one.
Yeah, let's wait and see on that
Especially
one.
if he kicks your butt.
If you do want to see that game at SoFi Stadium, the Triple Crown winners return. It is therams.com for your tickets. Individual,
I'll be standing
single
up and
game,
clapping.
and season tickets.
When he's announced.
But,
I'll be standing up.
But then after, what are you going to do?
That's it. He's the opponent after that. But I'll stand up, give him his props.
That's why I love you.
Thank you.
That's why I love you, because you could turn it on.
Yeah.
I'm going to be sad.
The whole game?
Yeah, because it's like, we got to get you. We don't want to get you, but we got to get you.
Absolutely. Yes.
You know?
After that, you're the opponent.
Yeah.
Yes.
And watch him on third down.
Right.
The game you are looking forward to most.
You want to go? I got 2.
Go ahead.
Well, of course, Philly, because you took them to
Gotta get our
the
get
last
back.
few plays, and you were that close. And even the Eagles said that was their toughest opponent. That was the team they worried about the most. So you were that close there. And, of course, anybody that's been around here for a while, you're going to have that Lions game circled. It ain't over yet. And I hope Higbee is healthy for that game.
Man.
There's a lot of get back in that game.
Wow.
There's a lot of storylines there, so that game is always circled. The one I'm dreading the most is Baltimore. Yeah, Baltimore.
Because?
It's hard to get to. It's AFC North ball. Everything's outdoors. It's Lamar. It's everything.
Well against them though.
I know.
Last time at least.
Yeah, but they test you in all 3 phases. Remember how that last game ended on a punt return?
Yeah,
That's a heartbreaker. So that one always But the Lions, yes. Philadelphia, absolutely.
Obviously, I'm gonna have the Jags circled. I think that's just an easy one. But I had the Lions. I had the Lions circled just because of I felt like the Rams in week 1 really had an opportunity to go out there and win that one. But, like, your whole line gets taken out in that first game. It's kind of like, all right, but then we saw what happened to Detroit later on, right, who was a contender, and then they got all banged up. So hopefully both teams are healthy playing. You get a really good game. And then for me,
I would have liked that Lions game early. I'm fine with where it is,
Right.
no complaints. But because of the new coordinators, I could have, I guess, made the case like while they get their sea legs, maybe try and jump them. But you can spin it the other way too, which is who knows what they're throwing out there scheme wise. I don't think it's going to be too different, but you'll have a lot of inventory by the time.
And that's going to be a playoff game, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be a contending game of you two teams battling for position, you hope, in the playoffs at that time. And the other one for me is always, again, being a guy from the Bay Area, I love whenever we go to San Francisco. Like, it just –
the at San Francisco.
oh,
goes
yeah, I don't
without
want it
saying.
here.
Yeah.
Like, here is like I want to go up north.
The one I'm looking forward to most is Week 5, Thursday Night Football against the 49ers.
Yes.
It's tough every year to knock that one off the pedestal.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I want to go up there, though. Because, I remember this last Thursday we went up there. It was at San Francisco. It was raining. We won 12-6. The amount of trash talk that I have on the way home is, like, unbearable. Like, I'm a proud Rams fan. Like, I rock my stuff. And I get a button. Everyone's just chirping at me. And so when that happens, it's just like, here I am.
Oh, yeah.
So anytime you can win up there, oh, my gosh. I always look for that one.
I just love the escalators.
I was just about to
Yes.
say, anytime you
Love
can
that
have the
shot.
escalators working.
Sha-na-na-na. Yep, absolutely.
Well, it's nice to know, right? And in the
Yeah.
meantime, there's so much to look forward to. OTAs, and we'll have some coverage.
Can we talk about what we don't like?
On the
Oh, yeah.
schedule?
Oh,
yeah, go ahead.
Why do we always have to go somewhere the third preseason game? Why can't we just get it home?
We got to check in with Andrew Siciliano.
Yeah, but
and
Andrew can
Shedeur
come here in week
Shedeur
2,
and the Browns.
and then we can play the Chargers here, and then we're solid. We're
You
good.
talking about preseason?
I am, because that's a lot of travel.
Yeah, we didn't give the preseason schedule enough run here. Cowboys, Chargers,
Kidding me?
at Cleveland. How about if I take you to Maui to make up for it?
There you go. Okay.
That's a whole
There
another
you
ordeal
go.
we have to talk about. But
Yes.
yes.
How about mandatory minicamp in Maui?
dope.
Think back to your player self. How would that have landed
Oh,
for
my
you?
God, bro. We're not getting much done.
We
I'll
are.
tell you that.
Get a
No.
lot done.
Huh?
Not
Early
on
in the
field,
morning.
though.
I'm
Yeah,
just
early in the
saying, we're
morning.
not getting much done. Yeah.
Getting all the work
crazy.
done in the morning. I'll be
Hard
on
to
the
be tough
beach.
in Maui. Yeah.
One more time, therams.com for all your schedule release content. Check out all the great work that Social has done. Get your tickets for single game and all 2025 season long. It's nice to know where we're going to be and the guys I'm going to be doing it with. We'll see about MJD in London. We might have to share him.
Oh, yeah.
But
We're working on it.
Did you talk about preseason? Unreal.
Yes, preseason is the most important season. It's the closest thing.
I had like 116 days to CJ Stroud. Now I got to back that out
Oh,
another
my
month.
God.
For,
We got to go see Shedeur. We got to figure out if he's
Yes.
winning the job or not. Right, the Chargers with Najee Harris. I mean, we got a lot
Yeah,
going on.
That's going to be wild. Yes.
Good to
And
see
then the
you guys.
Cowboys with George Pickens to start this thing off.
Anything else? I feel like I cut you off there.
No, you're good. I'm sorry.
I'm getting like the rap.
It's all good.
I'm sorry.
Yes,
No.
sir.
Okay. For MJD, for D'Marco Farr, looking forward to another lap through Between the Horns with you. Enjoy the schedule. We cannot wait to reconnect as always. BTH is presented by your Southern California Toyota dealer.